Hello, hello. It's quite bright. This hat was just for the live. Let's see if it's better. I guess you're kind of stuck between dark me and nice environment me. Yeah, absolutely. That's much better. Right, let's move the table. Move the table here. Chair here. And we're ready to go. Excellent. Welcome to live edition number 4. That's amazing. So that's good. I'm on my 4th live. So yeah. Oh yeah, if you can, there's my data ABC teaching. If you want to know how I make my money while I'm doing all of this, data ABC. Great company actually. It's not too bad. With the exception that all of your lessons are set in stone, like you cannot change a schedule no matter what. That has caused arguments in the past, and yeah, I know it's gonna be like that. Yeah, let's see what we can do. Maybe I can share this with a few people. Can I share my stream? Do 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 do. Do do do. There we go. There we go. I've sent a little vlog invitation to one Lisa Burke. The one and only Lisa Burke. Sure, no one else is going to do it. There we go. And we'll do it. Sure, why not? We may as well do the vlogs. But yeah. So I've shared it to a few. We'll see what happens. Well, yeah, I'm back in what is arguably my favorite place in all of Vietnam. I mean, Hoi An. I mean, it's just so good. It's a really beautiful city. It's not even a city. It's a beautiful town. Like it's got the rice fields. I mean, I may as well show you again. I mean, look at this place. This is what I imagine the public think of when they think of Vietnam. You know, you have the palm trees, you have the rice fields, you have the paddy field workers. Hello. Yay. Hey, one of them even got to say hello. Ooh, I was very scared about that. Maybe they're like, ooh, the white guy's here. And of course, ooh, God, my arm. Maybe you get to see my arm. Maybe you get to see the problems. I'll get into that in a minute. But of course, we're in central Vietnam. We have my La Rue. It's always La Rue when I'm here. Again, my rule of thumb, you go south, you have Saigons, like Bia Saigons or Saigon Specials. You go up north, you have Bia Hanoi. You come to the center, you have La Rue. And it's never a bad choice, but in Hoi An, we have beautiful bottles of just Bia La Rue, like Bia La Rue bottles. Very nice. Arguably the best beer in all of Vietnam, as I'm concerned. I'll make that argument. Bottles of La Rue are the best in Vietnam. Cans, they're very good go-to things, but the bottles, that's where the real good stuff is. So yeah, that's my La Rue rant. Something I need to do, which maybe I'll do this I might as well do this now. Another thing for Lisa Burke, the map of Vietnam. I bring this with me on my travels. Usually I would use this as a background, but I think I got away with not using it yesterday in my data classes. But I feel like we may as well do it now. We may as well put up my lovely map of Vietnam. It's huge, by the way, but why not? If Ireland had a map that was this big, I'd probably have it in my room because I'm weirdish. Let's put this up. There we go. Ooh. There you go. This is an interesting vlog start, isn't it? I wish I did more of this. This did some. This did do a number to the apartment in Binhua. It was a bit dangerous to that, but it wasn't too bad. So now I have my map. Yay, there we go. And for this is going to be another one dedicated to Lisa Burke. This is Vietnam. It's a long country. And so I started my journey here. This is Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, all of its loveliness there. Bien Hoa was only here, like it's only there. And from Bien Hoa, we went around the coast. I think we went to Mui Ne at one point, all the way to Queen An. So that's roughly maybe 1/5 of the way up. Queen An is actually quite cool. I'll talk about that in a second. But from Queen An, we've got my bus all the way to Hoi An, which wasn't as long a bus trip as I thought. So I fell asleep for a bit, only to realize that I was already there. I mean, my trip from Bien Hoa to Queen Yan felt like it took forever, but to go a similar distance seemed to be okay. And yeah, from Hoi An, I'll be trying to go just about here. Hoi An to Da Nang, it's very easy, about 30 minutes away. And then Da Nang to Hue, which is a bit longer, admittedly. Maybe an hour and a bit. But I'm firmly in the center of Vietnam as we are. And the final destination, of course, is Hanoi. So it's one long epic quest all the way to the top. I swear that Donegal might have been involved in this somehow. I'll bring that up. How it goes from north to south. But yeah, here we go. There's my data. I'll keep that. Maybe just move it there. I don't want it to be product placement after all, but yeah, data's fine. I've been updating my notebook again to keep with the times. Something I've always loved about this notebook. Like again, I'm a big Bond fan. There's my Spectre logo. Whatever you think about the movie, the logo is kick-ass. Like I love that logo. And my time in Hoi An. Here we are. The last time I was here, I'm currently staying in the Rice Flower Homestay. It's run by Mimi. She is a friend of Tao. She is so cool. Mimi is like organizing every last thing, and it's like she's a star. I can't thank Mimi enough for this room. Look at this room. Mimi has given me a fantastic room to stay in. It's got the bed is nice. It does have a mosquito net, but I haven't really used that. It's got a TV, but that's not really what I want. The mirror is there. The door. Is that the door? Yes, it is. That's the door. And it's got its own little mini balcony as well, but I'm not going to use that. I feel like it's better to be, I don't know, just using the indoor bits, I guess. And it's nice to put up the map. And yeah, it's nice to be in Hoi An again. The other place I have been to earlier is Voi's. I was actually this is from my last time I was here during the Tet holiday. I wrote this up. The wonderful homestay Mimi ran. Mosquitoes could be annoying though. Big Dick Chris was a regular guest for Mimi Winky Face, but yeah, let's maybe not put that. Voi's Kitchen, another great dining place in Hoi An, has cocktails, rice cake, and friendly hosts. Bonus points for being near the river. And yeah, Voice is fantastic. I was there earlier today doing one of my online live sessions with Palfish, and that was great. I just had my coconut coffee. I had some. I had a great breakfast. Something I like about Hoi An and Da Nang is that they have a bit more. I don't know. How would you say? A bit more, maybe a touristy kind of breakfast. I mean, I love me some fun. I love me some just Vietnamese things like clams or the shrimp breakfast. But sometimes I just can't help having just fried eggs. Fried eggs is enough for me sometimes. And having that with coconut coffee and a little bit of vegetables as well, like the salads, they're really nice. It's a great start to the morning. And having a live with some students where you ask some questions, that gets your profile high up on the teaching scale as well. So that's always nice. Hoi An. I don't think I've actually done a vlog on Hoi An before. Um, I was meant to do one, I think a year ago, when I came back to Hanoi, back into my brothel, the BME brothel in House 5, there was, I had done a shotcut, fully edited 20-minute video from my time in Da Nang, my time in Hoi An, and my time in Hue from the first time round. But I never got round to editing it. It just took too long. BME was kind of taking up my entire work week. That's my problem with the standard classes here is that you just get wound up in the teaching and it just takes away all of your free time to do video editing. And maybe this is a better way of doing it with a live because at least that way it's going to be published. Nobody is going to. You're not just going to be like, I'll do it next week or I'll do it 2 weeks away, and then next thing you know, you never do it. But yeah, it was meant to do one of Hoi An, and it was what I remember from the first time was the lanterns being with Emily and Kirsty and putting those candles out onto the river, and my hat, and being with John as well, the one and only John Howard, having a great session with him until maybe I think it was 2 a.m. Maybe it was a different time, but we had to get a taxi all the way to Da Nang at that hour. Oh, that was a long taxi, but again, that's a year ago now. Uh, but this time I'm in the present. The Hoi An that I'm with now, I'm associating more with the Tet holiday. That was, I mean, when was that? It was only, it wasn't, it was barely about 2 months ago. And being in Mimi's guest house brings back a lot of that. The only difference is that obviously none of the lads are here. Freya's not here, Nicole's not here, Ishka as well. So there's quite a lot of, I mean, it's just down to me. Like that's it. Like a lot of my stays in Vietnam, I seem to be the last one out to hit the lights. But whatever, you know. I mean, Mimi's still here. The guests in Mimi's are still here, and they're still just as fun as they always were. And yeah, it's good to be back. I'm probably gonna have a cycle to the Hoi An town itself. I'm gonna take a few pictures. I left my SD card into this laptop, which is really infuriating me because that was something I really should have done earlier. Well, but what the hell? What the hell? We get it done. I do my lesson at 7, and then let's go into the town. Maybe go to the Japanese bridge, and just take a few pictures. Take a few pictures here and there. Why not? So I finished my. What is it now? It's Wednesday. Over the weekend, I was in Queen Yan. And as much as I'd like to say it was a good time, it was unfortunately a bit of it's not a bit of a write off. Of course, it was a full write off. If you can't see my face right now, there it is. Yeah, lots of skin falling off, particularly on my neck. Um, yeah, I saw that here earlier. Is there any more? Skin's falling off, but unfortunately, I had to write off Queen Yan. Like, as much as I wanted to have fun, I got sunburnt on the first day, and that just ruined everything for the rest of the trip. And I really hate myself for that. Like, I want to beat myself up because why didn't I put on sun cream? Why didn't I think earlier? Maybe I'm going on a motorbike trip to the beach. It's an hour away. Maybe you should put on some sun cream. And considering I live in Saigon, or I lived in Saigon, which is, I mean, Saigon is a little bit further south. I mean, you'd think that I'd have got used to the sun by now, but apparently not. And I got really badly burned to the point where I was in excruciating pain for a lot of the weekend, particularly on the second day. And it just ruined everything. Uh, I wish it wasn't. I really wish it wasn't that way. I was really looking forward to Queen Yan. I was looking forward to being on the beach and just relaxing for a bit, but that just never came to be. And what can you say? Like, I really regretted a lot of that holiday. Poor Tao, she decided to join me on this trip. We spent a lot of time just inside, and she kept beating me up at every time. I was like, why the hell should I have even come here if you were just going to be sunburned on the first day? Like, I've lost my whole weekend because of you, and yeah, that was pain. That hit me a lot. She forgave me at the end because I guess if I've learned anything, it's that we seem to get over things very quickly. But I wish it didn't end that way. I wish we had better ending terms, I guess, because this can be the last time I see Tao, maybe until September, and that was a terrible ending to it. Like, it really was. Considering we've had so much better times, I think it was just we don't really do holidays. We don't get along well when it comes to holidays. Like, we just can't. Oh well, but, that happens, and I wrote a massive apology. I said a massive apology, and amazingly, I managed to screw things up during that bit as well. We rented a motorbike, and I brought the motorbike helmet with me to a bar so she could have some space. And as it turns out, we needed the helmet to bring back the motorbike helmet, and she's just like, "How the hell did you manage to screw up this?" That's just me. We had a joke about that, but yeah, I wish I didn't screw it up that much. I think this was definitely a trip I would have done better on my own. I would have had a plan. I wouldn't have gone 1 hour on a motorbike to the desert. Like, I definitely wouldn't have done that. But having said that, what would I have done? I mean, I wouldn't have gone to the peninsula. I wouldn't have gone on the motorbike to the middle of nowhere. I certainly wouldn't have discovered that mystery beach. Tapdoi, maybe. I can't remember what the name of the beach is, but it was a really fascinating beach. Somewhere that I feel would have been up Leonardo DiCaprio's kind of way because it was very hidden. I wouldn't have found it in a million years, but apparently the tourists have found it. Uh, the Vietnamese have definitely found it, and they've built a massive complex there, which is, oh, I'm not a fan of that. It reminds me of Quantum of Solace, where they built that massive hotel in the middle of nowhere, and you could have left somewhere there with a bottle of motor oil and driven away, and they would have died just as easily. So I wasn't a fan of that beach. I was a fan of the clams though. In I was a fan of the town. Like, Queen Yan itself was fine. I liked the clams. I liked the oysters. Just all the seafood they had there was really nice. Sometimes they'd have lemongrass or grilled nuts or something to spice it up, and the sweet chili especially, really good. So Queen Yan, a bit more of a miss than a hit, but I think if I went there on my own, it would have been better. I had fun though. And of course, I had one class to teach that kind of took me out of the vibe. Hoi An on my own is it's a bit more relaxation, I guess. I mean, I'm just at the homestay to chill. I'm probably going to go to Ganesh as well. I'm going to find one Indian restaurant before I leave. I mean, I was promised one in Bin Hua, but that didn't happen. I haven't had an Indian since Ho Chi Minh City, and I doubt I'll have another one until guess I guess Hanoi. Like Hanoi is going to be the last time I have an Indian. Ooh. So yeah, I'm enjoying myself so far. I'm obviously taking it easy because I'm doing. It's strange mixing my work with my leisure, so to speak. I do my teaching on one hand, and at the other hand, I'm in Hoi An, just taking it easy. I guess I can't really fully switch off. I wish I could, but then I wouldn't be making my money. I wouldn't be able to do this in the first place if I didn't switch off 100%. So I guess if you're a civil servant making your money, and at the very least you have your break where you can just switch off, go on a week's holiday to turn off and come back. But I don't really have that at the moment. I go to these places and I do my work and then I relax at the same time. It's not too bad. I just wish I did it maybe a bit sooner. I'm really tempted to email BME and tell them maybe I'll start the week after next because it's just BME. I know, like I'll be making more money with them, but also it's BME and they have a tendency to be. It feels like work, whereas what I'm doing now, while I'm making enough money to to kind of keep going with this lifestyle, and even save a little bit here and there. Like, yeah, it's not a big saving, but I'm making enough to keep it going. This is a perfect nomadic lifestyle that I'm doing at the moment. I mean, yeah, I'd like to do more. Maybe on Wednesday during the weeks. If I had more classes with Palfish, then bing, like I'm happy. But as it is, it's not too bad. I mean, Dada's making me enough money to keep me going on this adventure. Tomorrow I'm going to the Misan ruins. Oh, it's actually in the photo. Maybe can I point at it? Yeah, there it is. The Misan ruins. There they are. I'll be going here tomorrow. I've never been. I was meant to go here the previous two times I was in central Vietnam, but I didn't. So I said, you know what? I need to do one of the big touristy things in central Vietnam. That's one of them. The big bridge of the Hands. I understand that's becoming a very popular tourist attraction lately, but it's very new and it's not exactly. It doesn't scream authentic the same way that the Misan ruins do. So I said, okay, let's do that. Maybe if I was here, maybe a few more days, maybe I could, maybe I could, maybe I'll ring up BME and say, you know, maybe Friday. Maybe spend another 5 days. I messaged Lisa and I said, this lifestyle is incredible. Like at the moment, my current lifestyle of not being tied down by anything, so I can do whatever I want so long as I teach online. It's really opened my mind, and we're only. I mean, when did I leave ELC? I left. When did I leave? No, I left on Friday the 5th. Like, it's now the 17th. I've gone nearly 2 weeks of just living on online teaching, and I'm having a ball with it. And I don't feel like I'm in that mindset to go back to brick and mortar teaching at the moment. I mean, yeah, like in the future, fine. But this will definitely do. I think I'll do my BME teaching mainly to get me going in Ireland. This lifestyle is not going to cut it in Ireland. Like, I know that. I messaged Maria and I told her here, as much as I like online teaching, this kind of career isn't going to keep me going in Ireland. Like, then again, my office work in Dennigan's didn't keep me going in Ireland. I still couldn't afford rent in Ireland, even with a proper job. It's incredible that even the middle class is starting to find it hard to afford a house in Ireland. So that's a shame. I may as well talk about this. Come on, we may as well get it. Let's get it out of the room. So something I did maybe a week ago, I think a few weeks ago, was do my work for the Irish Times. It's an Irish newspaper. They have their own abroad column because there's a lot of Irish expats. Let's put it like that. Ireland has been emigrating since the dawn of time, or at the very least since the famine. Since the famine, we've been sending generation after generation out of this country, and I love Ireland. I absolutely adore Ireland, and people here have noticed that. They keep saying that I'm representative of the country as a whole. Like I'm a great representative. They say I'm very cheerful. Like I'll bring the trad music and everything. And I can't wait to bring this to Hanoi to the Irish teachers here. This in particular, like the bow run. I can't wait to bring this out there. They know I have a whistle, but they haven't seen me with the bow run. And you know what? Let's bring that all the way up here. Um, yeah, I'm a great rep as a whole. I speak Irish in my Vietnamese classes sometimes. If in my classes, my Vietnamese students will speak Vietnamese to each other too much, I'll start speaking Irish until they go, "Teacher, what are you saying?" Then they go, oh, right, okay. Then they'll speak English. But anyway, doing my column for the Irish Times, they were wondering for opinions on teachers abroad. And I said, I'm not a primary level teacher. I'm not claiming to be a second level teacher or even a university teacher. I'm none of these things, but it's an ESL teacher. We have English language schools in Ireland, so why not? Why not? I'll do my opinion. It's a bit more general than other teachers' opinions. I mean, I definitely know that some of the Irish Times opinions were focused more on teaching, and absolutely, it's what they do. And here it is. But the whole thing was Ireland's will not welcome you back. Talk of immigrant job, talk of jobs is fake news. Immigrants have their say. This had a lot of teachers in Dubai in it. There was Denmark, Australia. Dubai and Australia are the usual suspects for immigrants, especially from Ireland. Like Australia seems to be like the go-to place for Ireland, along with Canada, the US, and the UK. But I brought my two thoughts on Vietnam. I typed this up. I didn't think this would make the grade, but amazingly it did. Not only that, but they also put my picture on the cover. Yes, that is me with the lovely Ian. She is a great assistant teacher. She is fantastic. She liaisons with all of the students. What I said at the bottom is exactly my opinion. What reason do I have to leave my comfortable apartment in Ho Chi Minh City? My opinion was very much about the housing crisis. Ireland needs to get its crap together with the housing crisis. I mean, it really does. I mean, I'm reading an article every single day. I look in the Irish news. every single day. It's something to do with housing. Like, it's maybe even 5 articles I'll see on housing in one day. Lads, build your fucking houses. It never. Why aren't Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil burnt at the stake? I mean, I can guarantee if all the immigrants that were kicked out from their policy came back and voted, they would be out on their ass. And we'd have. Would that mean a difference? I would like to think so, but probably not. Because we don't have all the alternative policies. Oh, they're just not there. And so until we have that, we still have those feckin' Egypts and Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil still in. Now, I can't stand those parties, but I can also acknowledge that in Ireland, at least, the alternatives aren't there. I think at the election time a few years ago, that was exactly, that was the moment that we could have had a change, but it didn't happen. Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil joined together, and now they've become the empire. But c'est la vie. And I'm trying to find the photo that best sums this up for me, and here it is. Actually, this is Ho Chi Minh City, obviously. This is Landmark 81 and all the little buildings around that. That's the Vincom living space, and as it is, that's big. Like that's enough to solve a good chunk of Dublin's housing crisis. But then I went to a house party maybe a month ago for teacher Virgilia. Her and her partner, they live here. They live in this unbelievably massive complex. I saw this and I went, you know what? If they built this, they would have solved Ireland's housing crisis. But you know what? The Vietnamese, they just built it. They don't give a damn what you think. They just built it. And they just built it. They know that in the future Ho Chi Minh City is going to get big. Like I know the Irish population is getting smaller from birth rates, but the Vietnamese one, it still rises. So understandably, they've built this massive city in a city, like another city in a city. I mean, that's impressive. They've just gone and done it again. Built a massive complex that would have solved Ireland's housing crisis if they had just lifted it off the ground, plunked it in. I don't know. Let's just say Kilcock for the sake of it. If they put that massive super city in there, would that create problems of its own? I guess it would. It would definitely cause problems. But it would solve the housing crisis, especially at the prices they're asking for rent. Like that's only $750 a month for such a 2 bedroom apartment. How? And it's really nice. You've got shops around, you've got a park, you've got a nice road, like it's close to the language schools which you would have to teach in. But yeah, enough about the housing crisis. All you need to know is that I wrote an article for the Irish Times. We get taxed. The Irish people get taxed too much. They live in basic like crap. They live in shacks that cost more than the futuristic beds I lived in Hong Kong. The one in Hong Kong, I gave a bit of crap about it at the time, but it at least felt like it was designed with 10 people in mind. It had 10 beds. It had a kitchen. It had 2 showers. It had a lot of things going for it. And Ireland doesn't do that. It feels like it was a 2 bedroom apartment that has been crammed into a 10 bedroom place at the last minute. So that's why I wrote that in the Irish Times. The other thing, the job security, that's something that if I came to Ireland, I would want. The language skills in Ireland would probably pay the same as Vietnam, just so that would be the equivalent of my Denigan salary. I mean, that's okay. It's nice to have a salary like that. But I still wouldn't be able to move out of my house. I wouldn't be able to move out of my parents' house. That's a shame. I've kind of had fun with my lifestyle here, having an apartment of my own, having independence. But that's how it is. So yeah. Also, I've got my thing, my lovely the Nerf ball. This is for when I get to Hanoi to finally play this with the lads. I'm looking forward to seeing the lads again. I don't know what it's going to be like for a few weeks of BME teaching. Maybe it'll be interesting. Maybe it'll be a waste of time, but at least I'll have enough money to get back in Ireland. I don't know what the summer will hold. Just chill. Chill and have fun. That's the mantra. You could work. My mum keeps writing to me, and I'm really happy she says there. So that's nice. Ooh. So yeah, 35 minutes of talking on the camera. Oh, maybe I should do more of this. I mean, the Highlands thing I did in Binhua, that was so much fun. And I'll try and do another one. Maybe when I get burnt. Maybe when I finish the whole burning phase, I'll be better off. I think so. Yeah, over the weekend, I'm probably going to go to Hue, and from Hue to Hanoi from there. Will I talk to BME? I kind of have to. So we'll do that. I'll get my many, many millions of dong. I also have to collect my salary from ELC on the 20th, so that's another thing I've got to do. Yeah, but that's how it is. So I'll give you one more view, one more look at the rice fields before I go. Absolutely love it. So yeah, no language this time. I guess I'll do another live with people watching, but yeah, this is Paul signing off. Have a nice day, and yeah, we'll see you again until the next one.